Okay, just give me a moment. So I'm sharing my screen. So my screen is loading. Yes, it is visible now. Okay. Yeah. So yesterday we completed the hazard identification techniques and we have started accident investigation and reporting. I'll just take in a quick overview. So we have seen the philosophy of or the thinking of accident investigation and their purpose of investigation. Okay. Then we have seen the purpose of investigation. If you see an overall purpose, it is basically to learn from the accident to avoid the reoccurrence and to make familiar about the causes of that accident to the management, employees, and the co-workers, and to see the legal liabilities with respect to that accident, and also to establish procedures and also practices to combat that incidents, and also in case of any government intervene. So basically what will happen in case of any accidents which are impacting the society. I means off-site emergencies. When I say on-site and off-site, the on-site is strictly limited to your boundary. When we say off-site emergency, the emergency which is extended beyond your boundaries. So the society also going to impact. Then we also use these investigations comparing the safety performance, and also we use these investigations for job safety analysis, and also we can use these lessons which we have learned to prepare procedures, bulletins, etc. సో ఇన్ని రకాలుగా మనం వాడుకుంటాము. ఒకటి ప్రొసీజర్స్ డెవలప్ చేయడానికి, సో లీగల్ కాంప్లికేషన్స్ ఏమైనా ఉంటే వాటిని చూసుకోవడానికి, తర్వాత పెనాలిటీస్, తర్వాత మేనేజ్మెంట్కి వర్కర్స్కి అది ప్రమాదాలు జరగడం వల్ల కారణాలను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయడానికి, ఈవెన్ ఏమన్నా కేస్ స్టడీస్ ప్రిపేర్ చేసుకోవడానికి, సో దట్ ద కేస్ స్టడీస్ కెన్ బి యూటిలైజ్డ్ to train our new joinees. Okay. Now this is the process of type of investigation. Yesterday, I think we are here somehow. We have just read out this the objective questions. So what are the various questions we can ask to the victims or the people who are involved in the accident? Okay. Okay. So in the process of investigation, basically it include a site observation. We'll go to the site. We'll observe the site. We'll look for the things. So how it is happened. We look for what are the materials involved, and we'll try to understand what are the machines involved or what are the tools involved in that accident. Then interrogation with the workers, and also we'll try to fact finding, judgment and recommendations. The judgment will be on the real root cause of the accidents. Okay, finally the judgment in the sense, okay, because of this reason, this accident is happened. So we will give a judgment. Then based on the root cause identification, we will give the recommendations. Okay. Fine. Now we'll see what are the objective questions. So we can ask or answered by the investigators are. So who was injured? So that is the first question. So how many people are who are injured? Either Ram or Fani or Ramesh or Suresh or etc. etc. What was he doing at the time? So whether he is an operator, if the machine is involved in that accident, or he is a helper, or he is a visitor, or he is a manager. What is exactly is doing? And where was he? So where he is at the time of accident? Is the close to the machine or is away from the machine or somewhere in the machine, etc. Who was with him? So apart from him, anybody else is there or not? So that sometimes what will happen, some of the major accidents and కొన్ని ప్రమాదాలు జరిగినప్పుడు ఏంటంటే, so the body become into the pieces, even we won't understand who are there nearby until unless we are checking the shift schedule or the attendance of the people, especially the reactor failures or the ruptures. So it is very required that to understand who are with him. Then what he has to say about happening. So we'll ask each individual whether they are trying to give any explanation on what has happened or what was happened. Then what part of the injured is involved? So which body part is injured? How was he or she injured? So whether it is in a fracture, an abrasion, burn injury, crash injury, like that. And what was the unsafe, the condition? So is there any unsafe conditions or how the situation is unsafe? And what safeguards are provided to prevent recurrence, and also what are yet to be provided? So what are the controls which we have provided the reoccurrence, or what are the remaining or pending observations? Okay, these are the questions we can ask to get the basic understanding about the incident. Okay, and the first requirement for the injured person is to provide him a medical treatment. You should not go and directly jump starting investigation, because already he is in pain, already suffering from that accident. You can't go and keep on questioning him, so they will become irritate. So మనం వెళ్ళి వెంటనే వెళ్ళి వాళ్ళ మీద పడిపోకూడదు. చెప్పు చెప్పు ఏమైంది? Everybody is human, they are like us, so we should not do that. We have to give some time to them to recover. Okay, that is where we have in a technique called a critical or recall incident. Okay. So first of all, we have to provide him the medical treatment. That is most important. Unless he is not recovered, we can't get the right information. Then it is a mistake to make him upset by questions. Okay. And it is advisable to wait till he recollects his thoughts and gets his nerves under control. Okay. So basically, we have to give him a medical treatment. Then we should not upset him by asking so many questions. Then it is always advisable to wait till he recollects. So sometimes what will happen due to the impact of an accident, there will be a chance of a short-term memory loss. It is not happens with all the cases, but a few cases we can see there is they will be in a shock. They can't able to recall, they can't able to understand, they can't able to memorize the things that happened, because even we won't remember what we ate 2 days before or 3 days before, even though we are living a normal life. So due to that accident, the impact is more, they can't able to recall. So we have to given some time to recall that situations. An initial story should be collected from a spot checking and interrogation with co-workers and also eyewitnesses. So initial story. So in the sense to have the high level information on that incident, we can check with the eyewitnesses and the co-workers, not the people injured. Okay. Initial గా ఏంటంటే ఒక హై లెవెల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ కోసం ఒక అందాజు కోసం, సో ఏం జరిగింది అన్న దాని గురించి మనము ఆ ప్రమాదంలో గురైన వ్యక్తితో పాటు ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడటము, లేదంటే ఐ విట్నెసెస్. ఓకే, వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడాలి. And there should not be delay in initial inquiry. So we should not do any delay with this co-workers and eyewitnesses. Okay. And the condition should be kept unaltered pending the investigation. So basically what will happen, the people, they try to change the situation. Okay. We should not allow them to do that. Altering the situation. Okay. And the condition should be kept unaltered and pending from the investigation. Photographs, sketches, notes, and also computer and DCS. Okay. The photographs, sketches, and notes. And also we can computerize it. It depends on some of the companies, they don't have such a even softwares they use to track their incidents. So based on availability of systems, you can maintain your records. And concerned facts should be collected via testing the reports or registers, documents, instructions, defective or damaged parts. So this is about testing some reports. So what are the chemicals involved, or we can take the equipment failure testing, how it's been failed, or we can do some from documents, or we can take from some instructions, or we can take it from defective or damaged parts as well. So we will collect some facts from the equipments or materials which are involved in the accident. Okay, the facts finding should be aimed to determine exact cause of the accidents. So as I mentioned, it should not be in a blame oriented. So we should not blame the others. So we should always try to investigate to find out the real root cause. Okay. The causes should be considered and classified according to the severity and also responsibility for preventive purposes. So the causes should be considered and also classified according to the severity and responsibility for preventive purposes. As a last step, suggestions and recommendations for prevention should be submitted in writing, and emphasis should be put to the suggest engineering controls, then to suggest human responsibilities. So as a last suggestion, we have to implement the recommendations to prevent the reoccurrence of the same cases. And also we have to give more importance to the engineering controls than to suggest for responsibilities. Okay. And then if it is needed, the training method should be suggested. So most of the cases, it may require trainings as well. We have to know the people involved in this accident, whether they are familiar with their operations as well. That case also we have to see. And effective and practicability of recommendations should not be forgotten. Implementing difficulties should be considered and also replied. So this is the where most of the implementation part get delayed in the organizations while giving a solution or while giving a recommendation. So we should be familiar, or we should understand whether the solution which are proposing, is it practically possible or not. That also we have to check. Then the report is sent to the management for implementation. So what we do, once we find out all the root causes of the incident and we have finalized it, then we'll go for a management approval, because always whatever the corrections, whatever the actions you are taking care, definitely there will be a cost involved. So we should be ready with the management approval. Then all fatal and serious accidents and also dangerous occurrences must be investigated thoroughly and all reportable. So all the fatal and serious accident cases must be investigated. These are reportable. So as we see, as per the Factories Act, there are two broader categories of incidents or accidents. One is reportable and non-reportable. So when we say reportable, once the person is involved in an accident, he is not able to join or report the duty within 48 hours of time from the time of an accident. So we can, or we will consider as reportable. When we say non-reportable, within 24 hours or immediately within 1 hour or 2 hours or 4 hours or immediate day, next day, he will come back. These are the two broader categories of accidents as per the Factories Act. Okay. We'll see there are two forms, if I'm not wrong, 18 and 18A for reporting this reportable and non-reportable incidents. We'll see those forms as well. So non-fatal and repetitive accidents should also be inquired. If time permits, non-reportable and near-miss accidents should be investigated. Should also be investigated. It is up to the organization again, because some of the organizations, they do investigations on near misses also. They do investigations on first aids also. They do investigations on reportable cases as well. They'll have an criteria. So accordingly, they will do a high level or minor investigation or detailed investigation, or the safety committee has to do an investigation. Such a level, they do a multiple kind of documentation. It is up to the organizations, but the reportable incidents must be investigated, and non-reportable, it is up to the organization based on the internal practices and also their safety standards. Okay. Even అది ఎవరైనా చేయొచ్చు. సో బేసిక్గా ఏంటంటే యాక్సిడెంట్ అయిన తర్వాత వాళ్ళకి మెడికల్ ట్రీట్మెంట్ ఇప్పించాలి. దాని తర్వాత అక్కడ ఉన్న విట్నెస్లతో మనము మాట్లాడాలి. ఏదైతే ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ దొరుకుతాయో మెటీరియల్ కానీ మనుషుల దగ్గర నుంచి కానీ ఎక్విప్మెంట్స్ దగ్గర నుంచి కానీ డేటా కలెక్ట్ చేసుకొని రికార్డ్ మెయింటైన్ చేయాలి. తర్వాత రూట్ కాజ్ ఐడెంటిఫికేషన్, తర్వాత ఇంజనీరింగ్ కంట్రోల్స్ని ఐడెంటిఫై చేయటం, అంటే టు ప్రివెంట్ దట్ సేమ్ కేస్. దాని తర్వాత ఆ ప్రపోజల్ని మేనేజ్మెంట్కి పెట్టుకోవటం. సో డెఫినెట్లీ వీ నీడ్ సమ్ మనీ టు డూ దట్. దీంతో పాటు ఏంటంటే హై లెవెల్ ఫ్యాక్టరీస్ యాక్ట్లో మనకి 2 రకాలైన యాక్సిడెంట్లుగా డివైడ్ చేశారు యాక్సిడెంట్ ప్రమాదాలని. అందులో ఒకటి వచ్చేసి రిపోర్టబుల్, అంటే ఖచ్చితంగా మనము ఇన్స్పెక్టర్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్యాక్టరీస్కి రిపోర్ట్ చేయాలి. ఏది, ఒక వ్యక్తి ప్రమాదానికి గురైతే అతను 48 గంటల లోపల మళ్ళీ తన విధులకి రిపోర్ట్ చేయలేకపోతే, అంటే హాజరుపడకపోతే, దాన్ని మనం రిపోర్టబుల్ కేసు కింద చూస్తాం. లేదు అంటే నాన్ రిపోర్టబుల్ కేసు కింద చూస్తాం. ఓకే, ఫైన్. So agencies investigating accidents. So who and all will involve in this accident investigation? So basically, who and all will involve? Any guess? I'll just take a quick pause here to see. ఎవరెవరు ఇన్వాల్వ్ అవుతారు యాక్సిడెంట్ ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్లో? ఈవెన్ యూ కెన్ కన్సిడర్ గవర్నమెంట్స్ ఆల్సో అవుట్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ యాజ్ వెల్. హూ అండ్ ఆల్ విల్ ఇన్వాల్వ్? Who and all will involve in the accident investigation? You can type in chat box. Okay, I'm getting some answers. Okay, very good. Europe safety officers, electrical department. Okay, very good. Anybody else? External consultant. Okay, if at all you are hiring any consultant. Okay, very good. Safety department, factories inspector. Very good. Anybody else? Okay, local police. Thanks, Nirup. Very good. So now we'll see the people who are involved in this investigation. So basically, who and all will involve in case of any statutory reportable accidents. Generally, factories inspector, government of labor department investigate, but because of a small number of staff and a big number of accidents, hundreds of factories in their charge, obviously, they can't investigate all small accidents reported to them. They investigate serious and fatal accidents and give a detailed report showing to the facts, branch of law, if any, or breach of law, if any, and remedial measures. So they can't go for all near misses, small cases and all, fracture cases and all. They do only the fatal cases and major accidents. Only they try to investigate. Okay, because the number of factories are in thousands, but the staff is in 2 digit, so it is impossible to do such investigations. They may order to prohibit the use of some plant or equipment, process or premises if it is found for imminent danger to them. Investigation of Bhopal accident resulted into an order of a permanent closure of the factory A committee may be constituted by the government to inquire into the serious accidents. The finding may be used to amend the safety law if required. Understood? So basically, if they investigated, if they found any such situations or the facts, they will recommend or they will ask to close the factory as well or some of the operations. So Bhopal is then a classic example. It's been permanently shut down. Okay. Even if it is required, they may amend the laws also. I think after the Bhopal incidents, we got that MSIHC rules 1989, if I'm not wrong. Then major, permanent and immediate responsibility of accident investigation lies upon factory management, and it is in their interest also. Even then, it is noticed that a majority of small factories have not yet thought to self-inspect, investigate their own accidents. They simply report and rest upon insurance. So basically, it is a primary responsibility of an what do you call, responsibility of a manager or factory owner. They should not simply just report the incident and they will wait for the insurance premium. It is not the case. So they should be also responsible to look after what went wrong to understand. Okay. This is not a good. Each practice should be owned in the system or arrangement to investigate accidents, hazard, and suggest and implement the remedial measures. This is most advisable and also useful for the purpose of safety, and they may utilize safety consultancy services for safety specialists. So for small factories and all, they can't able to have a dedicated safety officer. So at least they can have the safety consultants so that they can able to uh, get some support from the consultants to avoid this kind of accidents. They can get some training on it. Okay. Next, depending on gravity and nature of the accident, it may be investigated by a foreman or a supervisor, safety officer or engineer, safety committee or an expert group, including consultants. And also the supervisor should report the investigation each accident as he is the nearest man having more knowledge on the accident facts and the remedial measures. So who can investigate? Either the foreman also can investigate, supervisor also can investigate, safety officer also can investigate, even the committee also can investigate. So now also the supervisor should be report and investigate each accident as he's the nearest one. So always the supervisors are also a key personnel who should be in the accident investigation because they are very close to the people. They are very always, they used to monitor the activities. They are the key people we should involve. The safety officer should investigate each important accident for his own information and report to the top management for necessary steps. So safety officer, it is our core responsibility to investigate the accidents, and also we have to submit. అంటే ప్రతి ఒక్క సేఫ్టీ ఆఫీసర్కి సేఫ్టీ యాక్సిడెంట్ ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ అనేది ఒక రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ. సో he should not skip or he should not away from that responsibility, and also we have to submit that report to the management for necessary actions. And his specialized knowledge, training, experience and ability make his report more valuable and useful in preventing recurrence. The safety committee's report is sometimes more effective as it carries workers' voice as representatives in the committee and rich knowledge of department heads. So sometimes the committee report, the committee also sometimes involved in the accident investigation. We have seen about safety committee, the structure of the safety committee, the accident investigation. It is also one of the responsibility of the safety committee. So they will also give uh, proper support, even because there the report is more effective because the workers also involved in the investigation, because the ground level they are the key people who knows about the real root cause of an accident. They can give us a better solution, and also it helps us to take the knowledge of the department heads, because they will give the better. Okay. Okay. And the information gained from accident investigation should be used throughout the establishment where it is applicable, and all similar or identical possibilities should be judged to prevent a similar accidents. So we can use this information, or we are very familiar with horizontal deployment. If you have multiple facilities with, similar kind of operations, so what we do, we can do on a horizontal deployment in our other plants as well. Whatever the lessons we learn in plant A, if we have another 10 plants, we can ask the rest of the plants also, अरे बाबा जो हमारे यूनिट में ऐसा एक्सीडेंट हुआ था, आप भी ये करेक्टिव एक्शन ले लेना. For them, it is going to be called as preventive action. So wherever the accident happened, for them it is in a corrective action. That is the difference. They are doing actions to prevent. But in our case, wherever the accident happened, for them it is corrective action. Now we'll see the accident analysis, the classification. So investigation analysis, it will go together. Facts found from the investigation or first analyzed, and the analysis should reveal one hypothesis to explain all the facts and adequacy. So in the investigation is nothing but it is a diagnosis. So how doctor will diagnosis, once you go to the hospital, he will ask for all your eating habits or sleeping pattern, your day routine, how it goes, or you do on a sitting job, or you do on a what kind of job you're doing, any physical activities involved in your job. So that is they do diagnosis. That is nothing but an investigation. Analysis, they will, based on the investigation, they will analyze your complete story, then they will come up with your solutions. The result-oriented objective analysis produce procedure should include, once identify and locate the main source of accidents from actual experiences, material, machines, tools, jobs, men, method most likely to produce injuries. So the objective analysis procedure should indicate about the following. These are the things we have to look at. Okay. So I'm taking a pause here. So we have a less than a minute. We can continue after the break.